What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing. Man, it is super hot outside right now. We're on like 20 or 30 days of 100-degree heat. It's so stinking hot outside that I don't even want to go fishing. And if you guys know me, that's saying a lot. That means it's really hot. So, anyways, let's do some more breakdowns. Let's keep on Lake Belton. We're on episode 4 now. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're starting just north of Highway 36. We're going to go up the north side there, and then we'll come back down the west side and continue on. There's lots of good stuff in this lake, lots of great fishing. Let's go check it out, see what it has to offer. Let's jump back into Lake Belton. If you missed the first couple of videos, I did have it sorted over here on the left-hand side by a couple different things. So we have Texas Park and Wildlife fish attractors. We have channels and ditches. Those are all those tracks that you see here. We've also got rocks that are out there, different types of wood and cover, so standing timber, stuff like that. You can see all those right there. We've also got the different types of cover that's out there, so debris, different types of piles that are out there. I wasn't even sure what it was, pipes, all kinds of good stuff to take a look at. And then, of course, the boat ramps. All the different boat ramps that are out there are really important, especially if you can get on a good boat ramp pattern. So definitely take advantage of that. So let's go ahead and select all these again and zoom in here to where we left off last time, and that was right here at Highway 36. Now, if you missed the other videos, what we did is we started at the dam in episode 1. We worked our way up to this little red mark for the end of episode 1. Then episode 2, we worked our way up to somewhere right in here. And episode 3, we worked our way up to the bridge. So now we're on episode 4. We're getting ready to work our way up, and then we're going to start working our way back down again. So what I like to do on this one is move this over, and then we're going to change our date to 12 of 2012. Well, that's kind of hard to say. And then we're going to start right there. So this is what we talked about last time, this little ledge, these rocks, this boat ramp. Now it's time to hop over and go to the other side of the bridge. We're over here by Leona Park. So obviously around the bridges are always good areas to fish around. You know, if you're struggling, having a tough time, anything like that, you definitely want to go check out the bridges. The one thing that I would like to point out here is this. See this little white line that's there? And if you notice, if you look over here, that looks like it could be the old highway. So right here, and then right over here, you can kind of see a little bit of remnants of it right here. So that's possible. You could have an old roadbed that's right there. And if you do, that roadbed is going to be really good. So you definitely want to look at it on the sides over here. And then anywhere where that main river channel comes in, right, really close to where that ledge is, take a look right in there as well. All right, so let's keep moving up. Not too much on these bank lines here. We did have some pretty good rock and a really good transition area going on right here. Notice how we talked about that on the last videos. There's a lot of transition areas on this lake. This is a primo one. It's right here off of a main lake point, and you can see that the rock totally changes right here, but it's really sandy right here. So your transition is somewhere in this vicinity. See if you can find it. Those fish will actually set up on those transition lines. It's pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's keep moving down. Got some pretty good shade over in this area, definitely. There's some things to check in here, just some debris or something. It's really hard to tell what was there, but definitely look in there. We've also got an old little boulder, a little rock pile that's right here that you could check out, very isolated. And then as we move up here to the edge of the point, which, by the way, that's like a big bluff wall there, and you can see it ends right in here. So again, looking out in here to see if you have any type of transition is going to be a good area to look at, but you've also got some brush up off that point too and some laydowns. Now, as we move further over here, of course, be careful because I see some stick-ups out here, so be careful on there. But as you move around here, you'll get to this other transition area. It's right here, again, going mud to rock. And right where it goes to rock, you've got some lot bigger, chunkier rock. They like to set up on places like that. That's a nice little secondary point as well. So good place for them to stage at. As we move further around into this pocket, of course, we're only into this very first pocket right here. As we move further around, we've got another one of those boulders I was telling you about. I love those boulders that stick out like that are isolated, especially if you can see any shade on them, because if you can see the shade, that means they're much bigger. So definitely that boulder there. And then you just got some creek channels that are back here. The creek channels on this lake aren't as significant as maybe some of the other lakes we have on Texas. This one's pretty good. This one marks out pretty good. But then some of the other ones that just don't really look like they have too much definition to them. But if you come back here in this creek and the water's full and you were able to get back in here, there's a really good rock pile right here. And I could see fish collecting up in this area. It's right after the bend. It's got some pretty good cover for them. Definitely a place that you could go look. Now, the question is, will you get the water high enough? I think if we get the water up 2021, the water might be high enough to get back in there. It actually looks like it from the imagery, but I'm not really sure. I've never gone down there and fished that spot. So let's keep moving on up. We've got some laydowns that are over here too. You could check out. You could really follow that creek channel and probably find some fish, just relating to that creek channel, like right here where it kind of comes up and slams up against the bank. You got a little bit of cover there as well. That could be a good spot. Over here where these tires are could be a good spot. Just some things to definitely take a look at. Again, it's going to look a lot different in 2021. You're not even going to realize there's a creek channel over there. So definitely look at that spot. Especially that spot where that creek channel was. I think that's got some potential too. I didn't necessarily see that the first time I was breaking this down, but now looking at it this way, it looks like it definitely could be productive. So let's keep moving up. Again, we got a lot of timber in this area, so you got to be careful. We got some standing timber here close to this bank line, close to this little point, could have some potential. Some more timber that's just kind of out here, so you could get a little bit further off the bank, maybe in the summertime and in the fall, and see if there's some spinning up off these trees or the winter as well. And then as you move closer into here, just a couple things to look at. There is a very unique rock pile right here. You can see it right there. And there's another one of them right there too, pretty big boulder. You've got a lot of stumps and things. I don't know if you've ever fished around Lake Fork, but they love these stumps. They like to set around the base of the stumps. So anytime you find these stumps, you always want to just go around, flip some jigs in there, things like that, see what you can find. Sometimes those stumps can be really good areas. And I like this one because it's coming right off the creek channel, and the creek channel is making the bend right there. So that's right off the edge of the bend. So definitely some potential there. You got some pretty good little creek channels coming through here. And then I just marked a bunch of different spots where you've got isolated laydowns. You can just kind of see them all over the place here. So if you were up there fishing the creek channel, you could just spend a little more time focusing on those laydowns, maybe pitch over to them, stuff like that. Okay, so let's move out of here and let's keep moving up north and see what else we can find up here. Now we're getting pretty far north on the lake, definitely up here. We get in this section, just a couple isolated rock piles, some boulders here to take a look at, a little outcropping of a boulder or something going on right there. Just whatever it is on that bank that's different, that's usually where they're going to collect that. You've also got some really unique rocks going on right in this area as well. And then again, some flooded timber up in this area too. So you got the combination between the big old boulders and the timbers. That's always a pretty good combination. Plus you're really close to the main channel coming into the lake. So as we move on up here, kind of the same thing, just these little outcroppings of big rocks. You got one right there, got another one right in there. Got this here, I said check. I think that's a big rock that's sticking out. If it is, it's got some really good shade off of it. So definitely check that one out. And then you just got a couple laydowns, some more of those stumps, timber, stuff like that to check out. That looks more like brush than timber right there. That looks like an actual brush pile. Then as we get up here, we get in this little pocket. It's a pretty good rock, just coming off the edge of that point. There's a really good boulder right there that sticks out. It's way different than everything else around here. And then you've got this isolated rock. You know that there's going to be one or two just chilling on that rock because it's just out in the middle of nowhere all by itself. And then you got another creek channel up here you can look at. That one's a little smaller. Your main one's going to be more up here. And so this is your main river channel coming down. So now we're going to switch over. We're going to go into the west side, and we're going to work our way down now. So again, here's your main river channel. Let's take a look at that when it's full pool, and it looks a lot different. So all that stuff that we were talking about, all those rocks and things, a lot of those things are submerged, totally submerged. You can't see them when the water's actually up. So let's go back to 2012 when we get the water way down. And let's work our way back down here. That's the main river channel. You can see it, the little track. So if you wanted to just fish around that river channel, what you could do is just focus on the bends. Really, when you're scanning, scan heavily on all these bends. Anywhere where it turns, scan really heavily and see if you can find them collected up on one of those bends. Now, as you move over in here, There's a little bit of a pocket that comes back here, but you've got some rock back here, some additional rock, some debris, brush, and then a little bit of rock right off the edge of this point. I kind of like that little rocky spot right there because there's no other rock in the area. Again, looks totally different when the water's up. It's going to look completely different. So just be aware of that. All right, so let's go back to 2012 and let's start working our way down. We've got some more unique just rock here, and this isolated rock. I seriously doubt I would come up here just to fish that rock, but went ahead and marked it for you guys anyways. Now, right in here, maybe, because we've got a collection of them, but these are all the little rocks or bigger rocks that are kind of just off, making their own little points. You can see each one of them here. So I really like the way that those rocks, all these rocks set up. These are all just little outcroppings of rocks that we have out there. Then as we move here, we go off here off of this point. Again, sandy, kind of not much going on, but some chunkier rock just right in this area. So scan around this point and just see if you can find anything there. The other thing that makes both of these points really good is the fact that that creek channel is right there. The main creek channel is just right there by the point itself. Then back here in the pocket, you've got a pretty good laydown that's back here. So you could definitely go back there. You crappie fishermen could get back there in the spring and probably put a heyday on them back there on that log. And then moving down here, I marked this as a drain, and sometimes these can be interesting, but you can see it right here, this little drain that comes out. I have no idea what it is about these little drains that are like this, but sometimes they can be absolutely magical. So it never hurts to go by if you're in this area and just flip around that drain, fish around the drain, just see if anything's collecting around there, especially if it's been raining lately, or if it is raining that day, you definitely want to go check that out. And then moving down here, you've also got another little isolated rock pile just outside this little campground here. You can see it if I zoom in. It's just very isolated, but it's right there in that area. So again, another good area to go check out, see if there's anything there. We're going to move on down the bank because there's not much going on down this bank line. There is a little bit of debris here, but again, not sure I'd spend too much time fishing this bank line. It does not look that good, but where it does have some stuff like right here, that could be the one and only place you're actually going to find some fish around it. So let's keep moving down. Let's get back down here into the juicier stuff down here by the bridge. This little pocket that's right here just north of the bridge has some interesting little features to it. It's got some really good rock. It's got debris, so tires. It's got laydowns in here, and it's got a really big rock right in the center. I could see this pocket being somewhat productive. So definitely go check out that pocket. I like how it sets up. You've also got a laydown that's here. And then as we get down here by White Flint Park Boat Ramp, some pretty good stuff going on here down by this bridge. So one is going to be the rock right here. And you got some pretty good rock out here off the edge of this island too, or whatever this is, this point that we're looking at. And then if you look really closely in the shade, you got some really good rock right here. And it looks like a pretty good ledge right here as well. And this looks like it might have been where that old roadway was. So there's no telling what could be right here in this area. I'm thinking this has got to be a good spot to try to locate some fish for sure. And then again, we've got the roadbed that I was telling you guys about that's right through here. And some additional rock that's right in there too. Now, as we bend our way around this point, some other things that you could take a look at. One is, see this little pile of rocks here, how it's totally different than all the other rocks around it? They like that kind of stuff. So definitely look in here. It's really close to that boat ramp as well. So you could fish the boat ramp and all the rocks around the boat ramp. If I was coming here, I would definitely fish these two areas right here. Maybe fish around this little point to see what's there because you got that roadbed there too. So this could be a good area too. And then I'd swing around, probably skip some of that, and then maybe hit this point and that boat ramp and those rocks. It's something like that. So just stay in those high percentage areas. As we move a little bit further back here, we've also got some more laydowns back here. Another one right in here. This would look like it got messed up somehow. I don't think that was supposed to be there. And then also over here, look at this nice little ledge. See the shade that thing's producing? Just producing some really, really good shade. So it's got to be a pretty good ledge. And if we pull the water up, you can see that water comes up pretty high on that. So that's going to be a really good spot. And if you pay attention to the color of the water, clearly there's a channel or something swinging around here, and that's right on the inside of that channel swing. So that could be really, really good for you guys. All right, let's draw this back and let's keep moving on down. We're going to go back down by the bridge. We're over here by Highway 36. We talked about that rock. I'm going to zoom out real quick so you can see what we covered today. We went over here, went up, and went back down. We've got about 5 minutes left, so let's keep going. and see how far we can get. So we're going to move on down here for the bridge. And we're going to get out here more towards this main lake point. Some things just to think about here. Obviously, main lake point, you want to fish there. But there are, off the side of this point, there's some pretty good little rock formations. There's right here, you can see these little boulders. They're collecting right here in this area. Over here, you got a really big boulder with some real good shade. Another one right there. And then another pile right in here. So you definitely want to take some time if you're fishing that point to just go up there and fish around those too. Those can be really good areas to find some fish for sure. You got a little bit more laydowns over here, not a ton, but you got one or two pretty good little laydowns that are going right here. Those are going to be submerged when the water's up. You're not going to be able to tell that those are there. So I'm going to draw this back to where the water's down so we can keep going. We're going to go up this bank line. So all we've done is just come down around the main point there below the bridge. We're coming up here into this first little cove. And we get up here, just some things to take a look at. You got, it says another laydown in here. I don't see this laydown that I keep referring to. I wonder if I have a different date. I'm going to draw this back a little bit further and see if we can't find, there we go. 11. So we get even further here, and right here is those laydowns that we couldn't see before, but they're there. So definitely check that out. I like how that one sets up right, pretty much right on the edge of the creek channel there. You've got some more debris in here, some more laydowns going on right in this area, right off the edge of this little point that's here. And a pretty decent little ledge there too. That could be a really good spot. I like that. I like how that one sets up. Then you've got a foundation that's over here. It's like an old home foundation or something. Those fish love to collect around those old foundations. So something to check out. That one's pretty cool. I love seeing images like that. And then moving on down, I'm probably going to have to move this back to 2012 just so we can see a little bit better. But as we move over here, this looks like a potential like an old foundation as well, some old debris or something like that. But right in there, that could be the same thing as what we were seeing here with that foundation, but we're just seeing the top of it, not able to see the whole thing. And then also you want to check right in here because there's something that was very unique about this little point that comes out. And it's got some debris and some really big rocks. If you notice right there, it's got some really big rocks, chunkier rocks right in that spot. And then let's go on down. Let's go to this point and we'll stop. We'll start at Owl Creek on our next video. What I want to do though is I want to go back where we were talking earlier, where we thought that creek channel swung up against the bank line. I want to see what it looks like in 2011. So we'll see if we can figure that out here in just a second. If not, we'll just keep going. But let's go down here and look at one more thing. We just got some more rocks going on here, some bigger type rocks, just totally different than some of the other stuffs that's in that area. That one's not as unique, but I think when I pull it up 2012, you'll be able to tell there's a big difference. And right here is kind of your transition area. It's all happening right here in this area. So definitely take a look at that. All right, so let's go back. I forget where we were when we were looking at that creek channel earlier where it was darker, but we knew it was a creek channel swing. And I think this is it right here. That was where the other one was. So never mind. I guess I'm not going to be able to show you guys that, but I was hoping I could show you where that creek channel was in 2011 because the one earlier, you could tell there was a creek channel there, but it just wasn't that obvious. So anyways, I can't remember where we were, so I'll come back to it maybe next time and show it to you guys if I can find it. But this will wrap us up for episode 4 for Lake Belton. Make sure you go out and check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. We've got all these waypoints to where you can basically put them on an SD card, plug them into your graph, and have them while you're out there fishing. It'll change the way you fish. It'll make breaking down the lake and knowing where you want to go fish much, much easier. So go check it out, simplisticfishing.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.